Hello everyone, so welcome to our video lecture. So dear students, in our last video lecture we have studied about rearrangement and ring expansion in case of carbocations. Okay, so today we are starting with our reactions. First of all, we will start with substitution reactions. Okay, so before starting substitution reaction, we need to understand some basic points about the reaction. Okay, see, in any reaction there is one reactant, there is one attacking reagent, and there is one desired product. Okay, we studied about attacking reagents, right? We studied about electrophiles as well as nucleophiles. Now reactant will be given in the reaction, then there is one product formed which is desired product, and there are certain side products. Now there is one more thing called as leaving groups. Okay, so let us first discuss about leaving groups. So what are leaving groups? Leaving groups So students, if I say about leaving groups, in simple representation it is represented as Lg. Those groups which leaves in any reaction. Okay, in simple terms, if I say leaving group means the one which leaves in the reaction. Okay, something which comes out. Now what is that? Generally leaving groups need to have ability to stabilize the additional electron pair which it gains during departing from any compound. Okay, now understand its meaning. What happens generally in case of heterolysis? Heterolysis means unequal distribution of electron. So generally during heterolysis of bonds, some group leaves or departs. Okay, that is your leaving group. Now that leaving group need to have ability to stabilize the additional electron pair. The additional, during heterolysis what will happen? One nucleophile will be generated as a leaving group, so that extra electron pair it is gaining due to leaving or breaking of covalent bond, so it must have tendency to stabilize that electron pair, extra electron gained due to heterolysis. Okay, which gains during departing from any compound. During heterolysis, when it departs from this compound, it must be stabilized. Okay, it must have that stability. So if I say heterolysis, then there is a possibility of what? There must be a possibility of leaving group which can be charged, or there are leaving groups which can be neutral. So let me tell you types of leaving groups. See, there are three types of leaving groups. Okay, first, if I say negatively charged leaving groups. Negatively charged leaving groups. Now such leaving groups can be, if I say halides, halide ions. Okay, then if I say RO minus, if I say RS minus, if I say ACO minus, this is simply acetate ion, that is represented as AC means CS3CO, okay, acyl group, and O minus, simply clear. So generally there may be negatively charged living groups. Okay, now when I say negatively charged living groups, here comes the term heterolysis. Okay, now this is a living group which lives during any reaction. Okay, so the reason behind their living is the reaction occurring, but there must be some stability, in these groups that will only cause their living tendency. Okay, now next comes neutral living groups. Now remember, if there is some neutral living group, then they play very important role. Now neutral living groups, if I say one of the world's best living group, neutral living group is N2. Okay, if any reaction N2 is living, then it causes what? There is entropy factor here dominating in such cases. Okay, so when there is entropy factor involved in case of neutral living groups, so it plays an important role. So N2 is one of the world's best living group. Why? Because in N2 there is N triple bond N. So what happens? This is having 2 pi bond and 1 sigma bond, and this is a neutral molecule which is highly stable. The bond dissociation energy of N2 is very, very high. So what happens? It cannot again take part in the reaction. Generally N2 is considered as non-reactive gas. Okay, generally. Now if I say water, in many reaction water will be living as a living group, then in sometimes alcohol, in sometimes ether, sometimes thioalcohol. So these are all cases, okay, for neutral living groups. Now there are positive charged living group also, positively charged. Okay, suppose if I say positively charged electrophile, positively charged living group as E plus. Here I am not going into that part right now. Okay, so I'll be basically discussing about negatively charged and neutral living groups. Okay, we'll discuss it in our electrophilic aromatic substitution reactions. So there are positively charged living groups as well. Clear? So these are the types of living groups. So we can say the living groups can be negatively charged, neutral molecules or gases. As you can say here, N2 lives as a gas. Okay, now you may have some acids or bases as a living group as well as a neutral part, as a neutral gas. There are living groups in neutral, like CO2 is living in any reaction, SO3, SO2. So all these are cases of neutral living groups. Now let me give you a few examples of reactions where you can observe that it is a living group. Okay, suppose here if I say Cl minus, what happens? Generally if taken H2O, see it is diazonium salt, benzene diazonium chloride. Okay, so is diazonium chloride. Here if we say that this is, you know, positively charged species and negatively charged. Okay, they are attached by electrostatic force of attraction. Ionic here, this part is covalent, but N2 plus pH and Cl minus, this is ionic part. So due to water, what happens here? U forms PHOH, but N2 as a gas is relieved. This is your living group, this is your desired product, and also HCl is removed. Now you can understand here N2 as well as HCl. So N2 is the one of the best living groups. See, from this reaction you can observe one more reaction I am giving you. CH3Br plus OH minus. Here what happens? OH minus is an attacking reagent, nucleophile, and due to which OH CH3 plus Br minus. See, this is the living group here. Now living group is NN. Okay, now here comes one more important conclusion about living groups. In case of, you can write it here as, in case of negatively charged living groups, stronger the nucleophile, stronger the nucleophile. Suppose if I say this nucleophile and this nucleophile, then you can understand among these two which one is stable. Br minus is stable due to size factor. So which one is a stronger nucleophile? Stronger nucleophile is OH minus. Okay, stronger the nucleophile will be weaker leaving group, and reverse is also true. Okay, so I can also say, in place of if I say weaker the nucleophile, see this is weaker nucleophile here, so weaker the nucleophile, stronger will be the leaving group. So this nucleophile is weaker, so it will be stronger leaving group. Clear? Because what happens here in this reaction, you can say this OH minus is attacking, Br minus is living as a leaving group. So in this case what can happen? Br minus may attack and OH minus may be released as a leaving group. So the reverse reaction is not true. Why? Because Br minus is good leaving group and weaker nucleophile. Clear to you? In terms of base, if I have to say, in terms of basic strength, in terms of basicity, if I have to say, most stable base is good leaving group. See, among these if I have to say OH minus and Br minus, both can act as a base. Now which one is more stable? Br minus is more stable. See, Br minus is more stable, so less reactive. So it is less reactive, so it is good leaving group. I think clear to you all. Okay. So dear students, here I have taken a few examples. In these reactions, you have to check which is the leaving group, whether the reaction will go in forward direction or not. Okay. So here, first of all, let us take this OH minus. This OH minus will attack this carbon and Br minus will be leaving. Will form bond with this carbon CH3 and Br minus will be removed as a leaving group, right? Okay. So in this reaction, OH minus and Br minus, if I say, then which is the stronger nucleophile? OH minus. So reaction will go in forward direction. Br minus acts as a good leaving group. Okay. Next, OH minus with CH3F. Suppose this reaction occurs, then F minus will be removed. What you will get? OH CH3 plus F minus. Now here you need to understand OH minus and F minus. It is along a period only. Okay. So which is more stable? OH minus and F minus. F minus is more stable. So we can say it is a good leaving group. But here one more condition arises. What condition? See, here the overlapping in between carbon and oxygen is 2p overlapping, so the bond strength is very, very high. Okay, so in such cases, remember, fluorine rarely behaves as a leaving group. Okay, in very, very rare reactions only you will find that fluorine is acting as a leaving group, but remember, it may act as a leaving group. Okay, so here this will not come in forward direction. Okay, remember. Next, OH minus and CH3N2. See, OH minus attacks here. What you will get? OH CH3 plus N2. Now this is world's best leaving group. It is removed as a neutral leaving group. Okay. Next, see, this is a neutral molecule and this is attacking reagent. What is the possibility? OH minus will attack this CH3 and this is removed. You will get OH CH3 plus O minus double bond O CH3. See, here O minus and here O minus is having resonance equivalent RS with this side or this side. So in this case it is very highly stable nucleophile. Okay, very stable, so good leaving group. Clear? Okay. Next, this one. Here what happens? Intramolecular reaction is a possible case. This O minus can form bond this side. This bond will come this side and this will come this side. Then what is the possible case? CH3, C, O minus, double bond, CH2 plus CO2 is removed as a neutral molecule. See, so in some cases you will find such cases where neutral molecules are removed, just like CO2 here or N2 here, removed as a gas. Okay. Clear? So students, these are some examples where you can observe living groups and living group ability. Okay. Now here I am mentioned two cases and understand the two cases. This OH minus suppose attacks this carbon, so what you will be removed? H minus. So what you will get? CH3OH plus H minus. See, it is not stable, it is highly reactive. Highly reactive. So never consider it as a living group. Okay. Hydride minus is never considered as a living group. If in any reaction H minus is released, then definitely it will go somewhere and react with any another species. Okay, so H minus will never act as a good living group, or it will rarely behave as a living group. So it will, if removed in any reaction, then it will go to any other reactant and react with it. Clear? Now check this one. Here there is one good possibility. What happens if this bond breaks such that this electron pair comes this side? What you will get? You will get this benzene plus this carbon with plus charge and 3 methyl groups. Okay, 9 alpha H, right? In my last video only I told you that this is very highly stable carbocation as well. Okay, tertiary butyl carbocation. Clear? So this is one case where it is possible. So remember, see, this is a positively charged living group. Here neutral part, this gives you this positively charged living group. Okay, and here this reaction is not feasible. As I told, hydride ion is not acting as a attacking, it acts as a attacking reagent. The reaction will go in reverse direction. Okay, so it will not occur actually. Understand? Living group ability, LGA. Okay, now what is this living group ability? Living group ability for any living group simply means the ability to depart from any species or compound and stabilize by addition of additional electrons. Okay, now living group ability, it is simply the ability to depart from any group or species or compound and get stabilized by addition of additional electron. Now it simply means it must be a stable form. Okay, because if it is not stable relatively, then it will be reactive, then it will cause the reaction in backward direction, as I told you in case of OH minus plus CH4. Okay, no hydride acting as a living group. Now here if I say about the factors affecting living group ability. Now what are the factors on which living group tendency depends? Living group tendency or living group ability. So first factor is stability of living group. If the living group is more stable, suppose if I compare two reactions where living groups are only difference, okay, rest all are same, reactant is having different, suppose in one case I minus is living, in one case Br minus is living, so which one is more stable? On that basis you can say, so stability of living group matters. Okay, in case of generally we will be majorly dealing with the anions, so it will depend on the stability of negatively charged. Second, we can say that living group ability is directly proportional to the acidic strength of conjugate acid formed. Suppose you are having negatively charged living group, then its conjugate acid is more acidic, then simply you can understand then that it will be weaker base, because as we know weaker base will be having stronger conjugate acid and vice versa. So if you are having stronger conjugate acid means the base will be weaker base, and as the base is weaker base means it will be better leaving group or good leaving group. Okay. Third point, entropy factor. Generally in case of, if I say neutral compounds or gases are living in any reaction, then due to entropy factor it will be favorable or feasible. Okay. Okay, so students, here I have taken a few examples. In this you have to compare the leaving group ability. Means suppose this is living in any reaction as a leaving group and this one, then you have to compare in between these two which one is having higher leaving group ability, okay, or simply leaving group tendency. So among these given nucleophiles you have to check. So what you need to check is which one is more stable, that will act as a more better leaving group. Okay, or you can say weaker base will act as a good leaving group simply, or I can say more stable anion will be having higher leaving group ability. Okay, suppose in two if I compare, the one which is more stable will be having higher leaving group ability. So in these two it is having two equivalent RS, see, and here it is having this side and this side. Okay, O minus here, here or here, it is having three equivalent RS. So among these two if I have to compare, then this is having more stability and hence more leaving group ability. Among this it is having 5 RS, but it is having two equivalent RS, so this is better leaving group. Okay, 2 but equivalent RS or equal RS. In this RO minus, this R is having plus I, so I'm making unstable. pH O minus, here it is having resonance, so this is more stable, better leaving group. In these two, CH3SO3 minus and CF3SO3 minus, see, these two are very famous examples. Okay, these two if I say, then here you can see CH3 is having plus I towards this side, CF3 is having minus I for this one, so this is more stable and hence good leaving group among these two. Now if I say I minus, Br minus, Cl minus and F minus, then obviously I minus is more stable due to size. It can hold the electron pair more easily due to its vacant d orbitals. Okay, so dear students, in this way you can understand all these examples. Here I have compared about leaving group tendency. Let us understand about super leaving groups. Okay, now what are super leaving groups? When I say super leaving groups, I simply means these are excellent leaving groups having high leaving group ability. Okay, they have very high leaving group ability. And now if I say about the order of these groups and their details, then you can understand. First of all comes neutral part, N2. It is one of the best leaving group, super leaving group. Then if I say comes ONF. Okay, now what is this? These are called nonaflates. Okay, next comes OTF or simply TF. These are triflate. Okay, then comes ONS or simply NS. These are nocilates. Then comes OBR. Okay, or OBS. These are brosilates. Clear? Now after that, if I have to say, after this comes OTS, and then comes OMS. Okay. OBR, OTS, OMS. Clear? Now I told you this OTS will be tosylate and this OMS will be mesylate. Okay. So dear students, these are the super living groups. Now here I have told you the names: nonaflates, triflate, nosylate, brosylate, tosylate and mesylates. Now understand one by one what are their structures and how they behave as good living groups. What is the reason behind that? So first comes nonaflates. Okay, now it is O minus. See, this is having 3 equivalent RS from this side and it is very high minus I groups. You can understand it as like O minus SO2 C4 F9, 3 plus 2 5 plus 2 7 plus 2 9, C4 F9. Okay, so these are nonaflates. Okay, next comes triflate. Triflate is simply, earlier I used here O minus with then this CF3. Okay, rather than C4 F9, if it is CF3 simply, it is called as triflate. Clear? Then next comes nosylate. What is that? O minus S double bond O double bond O NO2. Clear? For nitro group it is called as nosylate. Clear? Now here I am just writing for Br. In place of NO2, if it is bromine, it is called as brosylate, and if it is CH3, in place of NO2, okay, in place of NO2, if it is Br, brosylate, if it is CH3, then with respect to toluene, it is called as tosylate. Clear? Then nosylate, brosylate, tosylate. Then comes mesylate. Mesylate I already used. In place of CF3, if you say CH3, then it is called as OMS. That is simply mesylate ion. Okay, so these are the super living groups. You have to remember all these cases. Okay, now you can understand. With respect to benzene, SO3 minus is common. If you say NO2, Br and CH3. In case of CH3, it is having plus H. So that will make it unstable relatively. So in case of NO2, it is having minus M for benzene, and Br minus I, net result minus I. So you can understand nosylate will be most stable anion, then brosylate, then tosylate, and hence the order for nosylate, brosylate and tosylate will be NO2 part is having better living tendency, then Br, then CH3. Clear? Okay. So students, now let us start with substitution reactions. Okay. Before starting substitution reactions, I discussed you about living group ability, about different types of living groups. I discussed you about carbocations and their rearrangements, ring expansion and all these cases, about types of solvents, about attacking reagents. Okay, now all these are taught to you earlier because in substitution reactions all these factors matter. Okay, so let us start first of all with substitution nucleophilic unimolecular, that is SN1 reaction. SN1 reaction. Okay, now what is this SN1? If I say this is SN1, this is for substitution, N is for nucleophilic and 1 is for Unimolecular. Okay. So SN1 reaction simply means unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. Okay. Nucleophilic substitution unimolecular. Now, if I say about SN1 reaction, then it is generally said as substitution by ionization. Okay. Why? Because in this type of substitution reaction, first of all, ionization occurs, means the breaking of covalent bond between one leaving group in the reactant occurs. Okay, so first ionization due to polarity of bond breaking occurs. After that, combination of between electrophile and nucleophile occurs. Okay, so substitution by ionization. This reaction is also known as solvolysis by first order reaction. Solvolysis by first order reaction. Solvolysis I have earlier used in my earlier lecture itself. Solvolysis. Now if solvent is water, it will be called as hydrolysis. Okay, so let us discuss it in detail. Reactant or substrate, this is our attacking reagent. Okay, so if I see this compound, then this is tertiary butyl bromide. Okay, so it is your 3-degree carbon atom, 3-degree alkyl halide, you can say. Okay, after reaction what happens? Br minus. Now this is our desired product and this is leaving group. Okay, now dear students, this is one example of SN1 reaction. Okay, now if I say what are the main factors we have to observe, if you make some observations, you will find that this is a 3-degree alkyl halide where this bond is having polarity, this is having delta positive charge, this is having delta negative charge. Okay, now this is our attacking reagent which is nucleophile. So if I see earlier, this OH minus cannot reach to the orbitals of this carbon. Why? Because this OH minus, if comes from this side or from any of the sides, it is not possible. Why? Because this carbon is sp3 hybridized carbon having 4 groups which are bulky groups like 3-methyl and 1-bromine. So direct attack on this carbon atom by this OH minus is not at all possible. Okay, now we'll discuss the mechanism. Okay, now after the reaction, see, alkyl halide means haloalkane is converted to alcohol. The product obtained is alcohol. Okay, and you can say that this is one of the method of preparation of alcohol or one of the reactions of haloalkanes or alkyl halides. Now in case of Br minus versus OH minus, as you know, Br minus is more stable, so that is less nucleophilic and hence the reaction will not go in backward direction. Okay, so now let us understand, if the attack cannot be possible directly, then how will the attack be possible? So I am telling you the mechanism. Mechanism. Step 1. What happens? first of all you are having this 3 degree bromine which will leave. Okay, now it will leave as Br minus, so minus Br minus. Okay, so what you will get? You will get this carbon having plus charge with 3 methyl, CH3 CH3 CH3. Okay, this is carbocation generated in this reaction. This is first step. Now points of observation: this bond is having polarity and it will break. Okay, heterolysis will take place. Heterolysis. Now here I have used this equilibrium bond. Okay, reversible process. See, this is reversible. Why reversible? Simply you can understand that this positive charged plus this Br minus is leaving. So you are having here, suppose Br minus, let's say, so these two can instantly combine and form this one. So this is one sort of reversible and slow process. It is very slow process. Okay, why? Because this covalent bond is breaking. If I say bond breaking is occurring, then definitely it requires some amount of energy. Okay, now where this energy comes? So energy comes from solvolysis. That's why I told you, SN1 reaction is called as solvolysis first order kinetics or first order reaction. Now what happens? Here we use polar protic solvent is used. Okay, polar protic solvent. If nothing is mentioned, generally we can use water. Okay, water is mainly used in SN1 reaction. So polar protic solvents are consumed in such reactions. So what will happen? That solvent will make solvolysis with respect to this cation, carbocation, that is carbonium ion, as well as this Br minus. Okay, so here this bond is breaking, which requires some amount of energy, but at the same time, see, this carbocation generated is now highly stable. How? This molecule was highly hindered. Okay, there is huge amount of crowding, but in this case it is having 9 alpha H. Okay, this plus charge is having 9 alpha H. So this way, one time this H plus, then this side, then this side. So 9 alpha H. So hyperconjugation, no bond resonance occurs, as well as strong plus I of 3 methyl groups. So due to that hyperconjugation, some amount of energy is released. Also due to hydrolysis or solvolysis, if we take any another solvent rather than water, then solvolysis, the amount of energy is released, and that energy is consumed in this reaction, okay, to break these bonds. Clear? So now this bond is broken. Why? Because this polarity is very, very high and it has a tendency to break. Okay, now this is a step 1, which is reversible leaving group. Now in the next step, what happens? We are having this plus charge and this 3 methyls. If I say in the starting, if you check, I have taken OH minus. Okay, so now OH minus can attack from any of the sides. Means OH minus may attack from this side, or OH minus may attack from this side. Suppose if I say this side as frontal attack, okay, means attack from the front side, then I can say it as backside attack, okay. Now attack can occur from this side or this side. Okay, finally what you will get? You will get the product carbon having 3 methyls and 1 OH group. Okay, this is our desired product. Clear? Both side attack is possible. Attack occurs from both sides in the carbocation formed. Okay, so dear students, it is simply a two-step process. Okay, two-step reaction. Step 1 is carbocation formation. Step 2 is attack. So first step is your ionization. Okay, here solvolysis occurs, and then in second step it is combination reaction, or simply addition. This nucleophile and this electrophile generated. Okay, these two combines. Now this step is fast Okay, just note it down once so I can proceed. So this is fast step, this is slow step. Now here comes the term RDS, rate determining step. As I have already discussed, rate determining step for any reaction is the slowest step of the reaction. See, it is a two-step process, so I can say the first step will be RDS. Okay. Now if the first step is rate determining step, so here whether you have taken the attacking reagent OH minus or ETO minus or NH2 minus, it never matters. Why? Because that is the second step. We have to check the rate by first step because it is slowest step in this reaction. So here what matters is the concentration of this reactant given. Okay, so let us study. Factors on which rate of reaction depends. So first, rate is directly proportional to concentration of substrate. Okay, to the power 1 you can say, because only 1 mole of substrate is taken simply. So I can also write rate of reaction of SN1 equals to some rate constant K into concentration of reactant. Clear? So I can say rate is independent of concentration of attacking reagent or nucleophile. Clear? Because rate has nothing to do with that second step, first step reactant concentration. Now one more factor. Suppose if I say the reaction is like CH3 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 Br and another reaction is CH3 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 iodine. In both the cases I am taking same solvent, same attacking reagent, but the difference is here the leaving group is bromine, leaving group, and here the leaving group is iodine. Okay, so we can say that it will also depend on the nature of leaving group. Better the leaving group, better will be rate. See, concentration of substrate matters, but at the same time rate will be dependent on the nature of leaving group. Better the leaving group, more will be the rate of SN1. So you can write it here. Better the leaving group, more will be the rate of SN1 reaction. Okay, clear to you? So first thing is rate of reaction dependent on substrate. Now one more thing. Here you can observe this power. Why I mentioned? Because for 1 mole reactant, if you are doing the reaction, then it will depend on that only. So it is first order reaction. See, when I say order of reaction, it simply means the order is actually an experimental observation. Okay, we cannot check it by mechanism, but from observation here you can see that it is dependent only on substrate, and that too on its 1 mole. Okay, means one substrate is dependent only. Clear? There are no two substrates involved initially in the reaction. So the order of reaction will be order of reaction is 1. Okay, clear? This is first order kinetics, first order reaction, because in the first step, in the RDS step, only 1 molecule is involved in the reaction. Now when I say 1 molecule is involved in the reaction, it means what? It is unimolecular reaction. That is why you say SN1 nucleophilic substitution unimolecular, because in the rate determining step only 1 molecule is involved in the reaction. Okay, so unimolecular. Clear? Means for every step we checks about the molecularity. Okay, so in first step you can say molecularity is 1. Clear to you? Now, next I told about leaving group. So you can simply say rate of SN1 in Ri is greater than RBr, greater than RCl, greater than RF. See here I am not discussing about whether in RF SN1 will occur or not. We will discuss it later. But as such I can say, because for same R alkyl group, this is the best leaving group. Best leaving group among halogens. Clear to you? Okay. So this is one factor. Now one more factor. Nature of carbocation formed. Okay. See, here in the first step carbocation is generated. Okay, so if I say the carbocation generated is highly stable, and in one case the carbocation generated is lesser stable, so relatively the reaction where carbocation is more stable, the rate of that reaction will be higher. Okay, let us take one example. Simply if I say CH3 CH CH3 Br, okay, and CH3 carbon CH3 CH3 Br. See, here it is 2 degree alkyl halide, here it is 3 degree alkyl halide, bromide actually. Okay, so in these two cases SN1 will occur here also, SN1 will occur here also, right? But in these two cases the carbocation generated here will be 2 degree carbocation. Okay, this part will be having delta positive, and finally plus charge having 6 alpha H on carbocation. Here it will be having 9 alpha H on carbocation. So simply you can understand the rate of SN1 will be higher for 3 degree carbocation than 2 degree carbocation. Clear to you? Okay, so I can say 3 degree carbocation will be having higher rate than 2 degree carbocation than 1 degree carbocation. Okay, and least for CH3 plus. Okay, so I can simply say that rate will be 3 degree carbocation is maximum, then 2 degree, then 1 degree, and least when it is forming CH3 plus charge. Okay, so CH3X is having least rate of SN1. Okay, in general if I say, then CH3X do not undergo SN1 reaction. Why? Because CH3 plus charge is not at all stable. Okay, that won't comes under stable carbocation. So in case of CH3X, do not make SN1 reaction. In 2 degree or 3 degree, it can undergo SN1 reaction. Okay. So dear students, here we discussed about leaving groups, all types of leaving groups, and which are better leaving groups and which are poor leaving groups. We discussed in detail, as well as we started with SN1 reaction. So it was just a basic introduction about SN1 reaction. Okay, we will continue in our next lecture.